Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
It is the big day, the 25th day of December. Merry Christmas, Riverbend. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show right here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV. Thank you for tuning in. What a year it's been. And now all the little ones have already torn up those presents because it is 9 o'clock on the dot. And you guys are starting your breakfast or whatever tradition you got going on, and I hope it's a great day. And for the ones that are having a little bit of a rougher Christmas today, I hope that there's an opportunity to find some of that, happiness in your day to make it at least as best as it could be. We got a great show for all of you guys today. We're going to be talking to Riverbend Head Start in just about 2 minutes or so. They're going to be filling us in on the year that has been for Riverbend Head Start, some new programs they've initiated and what 2025 looks like. And then Lacy McDonald joins us at around the 10 o'clock hour. She'll be filling us in on her 100 years ago article right here on our daily show. She does that every Wednesday in the 10 o'clock hour. Then around 10:50ish to 10:55ish, Santa Claus. You guys saw the picture on the All Things Alton Facebook page of the reindeer. I feel terrible for this. It caused such a traffic delay. I sent a letter in a couple weeks ago, and I told you guys this on the show. I said, could you maybe while you're making your trip stop by? I don't know where you'd be. He goes, they wrote back. They said, well, he'll be near Montreal, Quebec, but he'll swing by if you have about 10 minutes. So I said, absolutely. So tell your kiddos Santa Claus will be literally in the studio about 10:50 today, and it's going to be sharing his message to the Riverbend community, and one that you don't want to miss. It's going to be a great show all the way around the corner, but I truly hope this Christmas is as best as it can be. No matter how you celebrate it, I hope it's the best, and I really do hope that it's been a great year. We'll dive right into the show now. And, well, I'll see you on the flip side. Our conversation with Riverbend Head Start begins now. Welcome back to our daily show as our Christmas week does continue in the heart of the 618. We haven't talked to Riverbend Head Start for about a year now, and I'm so glad to get caught back up and to have Gene Howe, the president and CEO, and Matt East, the facilities and vehicles director, in the studio. How's Christmas season been for you two?
Busy.
Yeah.
Talk more about that.
Have you took a breath yet?
Yeah. After today, we will.
There you go.
But it's all good. I mean, we've got, we're reminded of community around this time of year because people call us, what can we do? Providing meals for families, gifts for kids that may not otherwise get them, gifts for adults.
Yeah.
Who may not otherwise get them, or just simple, a gift meaning like deodorant, laundry soap,
Well, and see, that's just what I find so beautiful about where we live, really, in this community of ours, and being able to do some stuff with wrestling, traveling, and going to live in a different communities. There's just something about this area where right around this time of the year, it just seems like it's all hands on deck. How can we help? And at Riverbend Head Start, you guys help all year long, and it seems like 2024 was a very, very busy year for the group as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're more of a conduit for help, if you will.
Yeah.
So, it's really all about community, and we are supported 6 ways from Sunday. During the coat drive season, we just gave away a little over 400 coats to kids that didn't have them, right? And we were getting toward the end, and our administrative secretary who manages that said, we're about 50 coats short. No more did she say that, and there was an envelope in the mail from a local donor. Thought you might need this for coach, and it just, boom, it was right there. It rounded it out. So
it's incredible. I mean, that's truly incredible. And going back, right when we first started talking here, when you're talking about deodorant and you're talking about, hygiene products and calling them and using the term gifts because, having a community Christmas on and a couple of those similar, kind of drives, you realize where the priorities are in that perspective change, because, you know, as a kid, you want that brand new Xbox, but for some in our community, they just want to make sure that they can, you know, have a good body wash, you know, and that's something really good to point out. And, you know, as a nonprofit too, it's, you know, very challenging right now. And the last couple of years, I'm sure, have been kind of those ebb and flows, those up and down battles and challenges. Would you say that you're kind of back up to full strength? Has the COVID rebound happened for Riverbend Head Start?
You know, when this whole thing started, our operations director, Kathy Levins, came to me and said, so how long do you think we'll have to get things back to straight, you know? Because we kind of knew what was ahead of us.
Right.
We were going to close down. She goes, you think we'll get like a year? I said, I think this is more like a 5-year recovery process.
Right, 100%.
And, you know, almost right on the note, we're at 5 years. We're at 100% staffed, 100% enrolled for kids. Our critical outcomes for kids and families are right back there where they were pre-COVID.
Really?
So whether it be attendance or, you know, kids getting to the doctor for all their child exams, immunizations and things, dental visits, vision, you know, all those kind of things we need to make sure the kids have in place before they go to kindergarten. We're right back there. So that means the provider networks are back, our staff are back, the families are trusting again. A lot of things are falling back into place.
What do you accredit that to?
You know, probably a lot of good luck, to be honest.
Seriously, yeah.
But, you know, we're a mission-based organization, and I credit it to the staff. Matt's been here for 2 years.
Dedication.
He came in, and he said, this is not a job. This is, you see the kids' faces, and you're
it's
dedicated.
It's life. It really is. And you know, Matt, it's a great way to kind of transition into this, because you really did have a kind of an exploratory year in a way, going into some uncharted territory, launching this in-house in-house bus service.
Yes.
So take me through really this service, if you could, as a whole, and overview it for our audience.
So we run approximately 20 buses. We own 22 buses. We have, 11 routes now, 12 routes. Wow. We have one part-time driver, and the rest are full-time bus monitor and driver staff in each bus. I don't know how many miles we run, but we run from Collinsville, Edwardsville, 2 Granite City Schools. We have 6 locations, so we put a lot of miles on buses each day.
And not just a quick follow. I've been learning about this with the EMT services too. It's this different terrain too, because you're not just covering, you know, municipal and city streets. There's a lot of different
door
geography.
To door. Yes, yeah, we're door to door from all the students. It's a challenging atmosphere every day, but we love the challenge.
You know, take me through how this kind of developed. How did it arise that you?
Well, we were contracted out for many years through different busing companies, and our last contract kind of fell through, didn't go as we expected. So Gene and I put our heads together, and we said, "Hey, what about doing our own busing?" And here we are.
So I think COVID was a real big player in that, because
it's a good point.
We had, you know, we had a contract for many years. That happened. Everybody sort of went away. We didn't get bus drivers back.
Oh.
So we started getting back a handful of bus drivers that really weren't there for the right reason. We had safety issues that concerned us. Matt had just come on as our facilities director, and he had some experience in transportation, and I promised him we wouldn't do anything massive his first year. I'm notorious for not being honest like that.
There you go. Welcome to the team. You know?
So I said, this guy's got experience, so we need to bring this in-house. It's not just running buses. It's learning a whole new industry.
Yeah.
Setting it up, making sure that you have people, you know, and the policies and practices before you actually run routes.
Well, and that's a very, you know, talking now, and I'm glad that we're at this point, you know, after post-COVID, because, you know, regardless of how you felt about the pandemic or whatever you wanted to call it, it was a major effect on so many industries. Everybody was affected by this. And, you know, what I think's really incredible about this whole thing is, you know, COVID really kind of made us really focus on being creative. How can we really do this? If we want it, we got to put our minds together and we'll pull out of this hole. And it really seems like you created better pathways with that, because you weren't relying on a third party or any individual other than your staff, which are very good.
Well, it changed everything in terms of you can't just keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly, yeah.
So the last thing we really wanted to do was get into the transportation business.
I'm sure, yeah.
But the effect on our services is tremendous. So when a child misses 10% or more, you can see an equal drop in their outcomes, preparedness for kindergarten.
Yeah.
If they're there 90% of the time or more, it's pretty good. Below that, it's not. So we had, we serve the families in the community. They're those that are most at risk. And within that population, there's a range of risk as well.
Yeah.
So the kids that were the least able to get to school, the most in need, weren't getting there by way of their parents being able to get them there.
Right.
So being down buses was a huge hit to our deliverables, really.
Yeah.
We were able to run our program. We were getting our funding, resources, all those kind of things. But when you don't see the kids in the classroom, you walk in, you see 10 or 12 kids instead of 17 or 18.
Yeah. Well,
huge difference.
Well, and on the backside of that too, this is something that I talked about on the show for a long time when I was on the radio in St. Louis. Is these kids that were not getting picked up. I'm sure you guys encountered this. Were those homes where that school option was the meal for the day, it was the safety for the day for some of these children, or maybe that secure space. I don't want to say safety, but that secure comfort zone that everything's going to be normal. And I mean, that really does decades of damage to that child for a long time because of those things that occur during that stay at home period.
Right. Well, and these are 80% of our folks work out of the house.
Yeah.
So as much as we're a preschool program and a family development program, we're providing a child care outlet. Right.
100%.
Because if they get on the bus and they're at school for 6 hours, they ride the bus home, that's about a 7-hour day. Mm-hmm. You can almost always find an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent to say, I'll watch them for an hour here or there. But to cover the whole day, I'm not into that.
Well, exactly.
That's the challenge.
So,
so our kids, they needed quality childcare, they needed socialization. Parents needed to get to work because they got bills to pay.
Right. You're 100% right. And Matt, with that too, just kind of piggybacking back and forth here on that same kind of bus topic, and that involves bringing in employees, and I'm sure making sure that you have the numbers and resources to get this done efficiently and make sure it's not, deterring from what was already in place. What was that process like?
Well, we had to build it from the bottom up. Our HR
Are you serious?
department went to work. We had to build job descriptions.
Wow.
Everything we learned together.
It would have been easy to take someone else's stuff and put our name on it, but that's not how we do it. We're a unique operation. We're Head Start. We're licensed by DCFS. This is anything but regular people transportation.
Right. This
is door to door. We have special needs kids. We have parents with limited mobility, and we have all kinds of unique situations. We can't just do group bus stops.
Exactly.
So that's where the expertise that Matt had. Thinking about what's it take to get someone a CDL license. I don't know. Never had to deal with it.
Right. Well, and how quickly do you feel like just in that process, you guys were feeling some success? Did you know pretty early that, hey, we have a good chance here of building this, or did it take some time?
I would say within 6-7 months, we had a really good grasp on everything.
That's incredible.
Started interviewing drivers, transportation coordinator, the routing specialist, bus driver trainer, all those positions.
So we were fortunate. We'd always had a turnkey operation. We had the facility. We had the buses. We needed someone to come in and staff it up, right?
Yeah.
So that we were a little bit ahead there. We had a fair idea. But, when you asked Matt about that, we started the process probably in October. Mm-hmm. We got approval from our board to get back into this business. And, we had hoped to have something up and running by January. But quickly I could see this is not possible.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of frustration. I think there was, but we had to do a lot of perspective management and say,
right.
In 3 months, we've hired a staff. We're training them. And I think the biggest focus for Matt and those guys, but we're seeing kids not come to school. Right. We got to do a little better.
Right.
But I'm telling you, they were blazing. They were doing the best they could.
We wanted to do it right the first time.
Well, and that's the thing.
We took our time.
You need to, because why rush through it and then have to fix it for 6 or 7 months and deal with frustration and all the nightmares that could bring? Take a little bit more time, catch your breath, and do it, and really excel. And now, another big component, I think, of Riverbend Head Start is this home-based program with Early Head Start. What's truly for the folks at home that maybe see the press releases, might see the articles? What is that difference? What's that kind of, maybe level 2, level 3 factor there that kind of separates the two programs?
So Early Head Start is for birth to 3-year-olds and pregnant moms, and then the Head Start program is for 3 to 5-year-olds. Okay. That's our center-based preschool. But if you think about the real impact of Early Head Start, if you come from a family with generational dysfunction, if you will, or not good generational support, and you have your baby for the first time, who are you going to call? If there's no one really reliable to call or willing to help you, then you have these young parents who are kind of floundering. So our family advocates and our health team, they come in and they answer questions, and some of the things that you might think are the simplest questions are really a big deal to our parents, because the number one thing, they love their kids and they want to make sure they care for them. It's a huge fear for anybody that's had a child, am I doing the right thing?
Well, and it seems like, too, and you both know more about this than I ever will because you're living this. But it seems like once someone gets into that cycle, because they don't have that village, they don't have mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, the best friend, sister, brother, you name it, on the phone. It seems like once you quote unquote, not literally, but in your mind or let your child down that first time, that cycle starts to become quicker and quicker. And then you see a demeanor change in that family, and that dynamic for that individual start to change, just from what I've seen, in my life. And, it seems like once you're able to really break up that cycle of disparity and that cycle of just kind of demoralization, it really does change a lot for not just that child, but that entire family.
Yep. And when those parents build confidence, because
exactly,
they just need affirmation, because 9 times out of 10 they're doing the right thing, or they're really close to it because they're doing it out of love.
They don't know where to go at times.
Right.
We point them in the right direction. These are different resources. Take advantage of them.
Well, and see, people kind of get annoyed with me sometimes because I'm one of those people that understand. I mean, I've not lived it. Probably never will live some of the things and the struggles that these folks are going through. But I will never fault somebody for a choice they make because of circumstances like that. If you have a child to feed and you don't know what's going on with bills, you don't have mom here at home. There's so many things that really come into consideration. I'm sure that you guys encounter the gauntlet of it.
Just this year, and I won't give too many details, but we had a child who was really struggling on the bus. And, we didn't have a lot of information. So we said, this just doesn't sound right. What's going on? Come to find out, he'd witnessed his father die on his front porch.
Oh, my God.
So if you can imagine being a 3-year-old, or 3 or 4-year-old sort of trying to process this, you're going to see some behaviors, But by interviewing the family, understanding what happened, understanding what's maybe motivating the behavior, that happened before school started, so we didn't know that. It was in recent history.
Oh, man.
Got them connected with other services. We're fortunate that we're in a community of a network of providers. So we do well because we have partners in the community, and they were connected with a local organization, Riverbend Family Ministries, the Refuge Program, and I think they're going to get some good support there.
Well, and see, it goes back to that bus, service too. And I think that this, just talking a little bit as we're starting to talk now, we're 15 minutes into this already, is it seems like, sorry, Melanie, that light turns off on its own. I'm so sorry. I'll turn it on during the break. 3, 2. Getting back into this bus service, and now that we're 15 minutes in and we're talking more and more about it, it seems like you're really, there's a invaluable factor to this, because you're able to see the child really from your own services, your own support staff, in that hands-on role, and you're really able to maybe understand a little bit quicker than maybe prior services when you're using third party. Does that make any sense? Am I onto something there?
Well, Matt's aware, but the bus drivers and monitors are the first ones to see the kids in the day, and they're the last ones to see them at the end of the day.
How important is that relationship?
Oh, it's tremendous. They get on the bus with a smile, hopefully, and they get off with a smile. I know each one of our drivers and monitors truly love their job, truly love the kids, and they love helping out.
What did you look for in your monitors and your drivers when you were hiring? I think that's something really interesting to look at.
Drivers, of course, you have to have a CDL, a little driving experience, but monitors, we just want looking for that nurturing person.
It's a 10 times different, I think, monitor situation.
Yes.
Do you guys have a moment to stick around so I can pay a bill?
Sure.
Hey, we'll take a quick break here as our daily show continues to roll around the corner in the heart of the 618. You stay there. We'll stay here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not. I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back. Daily show continuing here on RiverBender.com, Roku TV, back with Riverbend Head Start. And really just kind of taking a look back at 2024 ahead of 2025 if you're just tuning in this morning. All right. So something I saw too the other day were some dental screenings, some health screenings, and it amazes me, when I started talking more about health and just lifestyle around the community, that there are a lot of folks that don't get annuals and don't get that preventative screening and health checkup, and to me that's something that I can't wrap my head around completely. And if you could you fill me in on how you're able to provide these screenings?
Yeah, so sort of the anatomy of a Head Start school year. The first part of the school year, August, September, we're enrolling kids, just kind of getting to know them, getting services running. Mm-hmm. And then between September, October, November, we're doing a lot of assessment and screening. So we're doing vision screening, hearing screening. We're getting oral dental visits, mm-hmm. physical exams. And then we're kind of seeing, okay, where is this child, where do they need? Do they need glasses? Do they need teeth restored? Right. Do they need some immunizations caught up? Do they, does the blood test indicate there's a high lead level or a low hemoglobin? Mm-hmm. All these things factor into your overall health. The dental piece, just, to lead with that, we'll spend about $150,000 a year getting teeth fixed. These are 3 and 4 year olds. Wow. So, we've had treatment plans that might be up to $8,000 or $9,000, right?
That's
because
incredible.
Kids have exposed nerve roots, ton of pain. I'm a wimp. I don't know about Matt, one of the dentists.
Shoot.
That is,
I am the biggest baby that God ever created, man. I'm telling you that. To me though, you're saying those things, and it's just, I hear that, and it's $150,000 on dental work, and it's like, why can't we give you guys $300,000 and help these kids even more? Because we always see all this money in the news on where's it going? How do we know where it's going? But investing in youth like this does so much because it breaks up that cycle of lack of trust. And that goes so much more than anything else in life will ever take you.
That's the cool part. None of that comes from the Head Start grant. That's all from community support.
That's even more incredible.
We're not funded for that one, right?
See, I like how Matt kind of looked at me. He's like, I know what Gene's getting ready to hit CJ with. He knew it, But what does that mean to you as an organization to know where that money comes from? Because that's an even more incredible feat than at that point.
Well, to me, the coolest thing, and I always tell donors when they donate to us, number one, they express an interest in our mission.
Right.
But number two, they express a trust in us to deliver it. Mm-hmm. That's pretty huge.
It is.
Right?
Well, because you're literally taking the weight of the world and weight of families on your shoulders. Truly are. Wow, this is so important. And now, when it comes to, transporting and just getting back just to the bus side of things, just doing our bounce back here, I'm so fascinated about how you handle the transportation of students, because obviously things on a bus, if we've ever ridden on a school bus or any type of, transportation like that, there's a lot of different conversations, a lot of different things happening there. What does that transportation kind of look like on your end?
From day to day, these parents of these children, you never know if they're going to move, so we fight that battle every day. We don't know exactly if they're going to up and move on us, so we might have a new address pick up from day to day.
Does that happen?
Yes.
Flexibility. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Flexibility.
Housing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that.
Yep. But we have a router that does the best that she can, but it's a challenge every day.
Well,
speaking of that, don't we have the best of the best in our transportation?
Yes, we do.
Do you? You got best of the best this year?
One of the best bus drivers, Elizabeth Hill.
Congratulations, Elizabeth. Seriously, that's really cool.
Yes.
Well,
we have a dedicated staff.
You have to. I mean, that's something I would have never have thought of is, yesterday we just picked up, little Johnny, quote unquote, from Elm Street, and now no one's here.
Right.
Wow. How big is compassion in that role too? Because I'm sure that you have to be patient.
It's huge. It's very huge. And they're all very understanding.
Wow. This is incredible. I mean, truly incredible. So I understand that the main office that we've all come to know the location of is going to be taking a little bit of a move. With that being said, you're staying in Alton?
Yes.
Do we know where we're moving to and when?
We're moving to the old former Metro Supply building in the
plaza.
down
down the road.
Yeah, 1848 East Broadway.
Look at you, no paper needed. How about that? So, what is this office move going to mean? Is it going to give you guys some more space to work, some more room to grow, and all of that good stuff?
So yes to all that, but so we've been down there for 30 years already with the center.
Right.
Now we're going to occupy the other leg of the property, right?
Makes sense.
And a few acres of green space so we can expand our playground. So it means a lot of things there. It puts us next to the operation, our biggest center in the county. We serve all throughout Madison County, which I don't know if you knew about that, but
yeah.
And we're also going to relocate our bus shed there too. So we're going to consolidate some spaces, and this is the big story. I think. We've been thinking for a long time. We've been working on it since 2019. Mm-hmm. We've been behind in salaries. Yeah. So we have educators that are as qualified as any other educator out there. They have a bachelor's degree. They have a personal education license, that kind of thing. So we're trying to stay competitive with our local districts. We're behind.
You know what?
To be honest.
I think that, but see, that's something that's good to note. And I think that's good for the public to understand too. And not to know someone's salary ever to be nosy, right, but to know that your folks are here strictly on passion and pride and the love for people.
They're educationally legit. Yeah. They're certified, but they're staying with us. Now, at the end of the day, everybody's got to pay bills, right? So we know as management, we have to do what we can to catch up. So the idea is we get this building. We were able to get this through funding from the Office of Head Start. So we're going to purchase the property, renovate the property. That's going to free us up of close to $375,000 a year lease money.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
That's right.
So the plan was put that back into the program, salaries, right? Which is pretty close to where we're at. If you looked at, we have 180 employees. If we reach parity across the boards, that's about the number. Wow. Well, just when we were getting ready to celebrate that, our insurance came back this year with about a $400,000 increase. Oh. So that might be bad news, but to our staff, that's good news because we have a very good insurance plan. We went to the self-funded realm a couple of years ago, away from the fully funded companies. Our staff were able to use their insurance. 3 years ago, they weren't going to the doctor because they couldn't afford the copay. They couldn't afford the copay for the meds. They couldn't afford the specialists. They couldn't afford the MRI. Yep. Right now, we have a direct-to-employer agreement with BJC through our self-funded insurance. People are going to the doctor.
That's huge.
They're at work, they're happy, they're healthy. We want them to be healthy for our kids and healthy for their kids.
Well, and see, that's been such a big conversation lately because we all know that person in our life that'll be coughing up their right lung for 3.5 months and refuse to go get it even looked at because they're worried about copay and all of that. They're already working 80 hours, a pay period, or 90, 100. And, that 175, 125, whatever it is, copay could cripple them that time around the horn. I wanted to talk about these safe sleep sleep kits too. I think these are really cool. So let's just kind of break it down for our audience. What are they, and what is the true purpose of this Safe Sleep Kit?
So this goes back a few years. We did some research for safety, and we discovered a couple of things that we weren't funded for, not even charged with dealing with, but you couldn't walk away from. Okay? In our region, too many kids were dying because of unsafe sleep. They're co-sleeping with parents, infants, toddlers, getting rolled over on, that kind of thing. For whatever reason, we're in a population pocket that's second only highest to Chicago. And maybe this was researched 5 or 6 years ago, so maybe it's improved. But our health team said, we can't walk away from this. Even though it's not part of our standards, part of our requirements, we can't walk away from this. So we began to sort of put together a program plan. And then we said, okay, once we put together a program plan, let's get it funded. So I'd love to give a shout out to the local Riverbend Rotary.
Good job,
because
guys.
They've been supporting. I'm part of the Rotary, but they've been supporting us big time with car seats. That was the other thing. Kids in our region were getting injured or killed too many times because they weren't properly restrained. So we're able to buy car seats and safe sleep kits. Safe sleep kits are the coolest thing because it can save a life for a very small amount of money. What it simply is education about safe sleep, like what to and what not to put in an infant's crib. You don't want to put a lot of soft toys because they get their face in that. That's going to suffocate them. And when we talk about co-sleeping and why you don't do that. So what this does is provides it's basically a portable cribette, but it's that child's space to sleep no matter where you're at.
Gotcha.
And if you have to move today, take it with you. And once you educate parents, none of our parents love their babies. They're not going to do those things that they understand. Oh, okay, we didn't realize that. You roll over on the kid. Now, everybody's kind of aware of that, but you don't realize the prevalence of it.
You don't.
It's sort of when it happens. Now, we have a lot of families who are housing insecure, so maybe they're doubled up. So your family gets this bedroom, yours gets this bedroom.
Right.
So now baby doesn't have his or her own room, but our goal is to get them their own safe sleep space.
Well, and then on top of that, too, you add in the factor of work and life and everything else. And if sometimes parents are just, exhausted after, you're laying down and you don't realize you're falling asleep until you do, With that being said, it's been a great conversation and really appreciate it, guys. But before I let you go, 2025 right around the corner, new administration in Washington. Do you anticipate it affecting, early childhood programs like a Head Start?
So, there's a possibility. I think we've kind of, shaken up the 8 ball. And the magic word that comes to the window is here and now.
Gotcha.
There's no 2 more powerful words than here and now. We're going to focus on what we can do right here and right now. I will say under this administration, the last time Head Start did get increases.
Really? Wow.
So, the best predictor of future behavior is past.
Yep.
And we're going to hope for the best there. I think that probably the most likely case is state block grant funding, where the money would go to the state and then we'd write for a grant there, which we're in that mix already.
So before I let you go, and this question's for both of you, how important, and really, on both sides of this conversation, how important is the advocacy work, and not just from your guys' organization, because obviously that's paramount, but advocacy work from our state and federal legislators, because it seems like, it's great to, advocate and let the world know about what you guys are seeing hands-on, but you have to have that bureaucratic shoulder to lean on too, and is that happening?
It does. We've got a lot of folks who advocate, but I think the biggest advocacy piece for us, if you're into government efficiency, we're the most efficient government program ever. We're the most efficient helping program. So out of every dollar that you donate, 87 cents right now is going to the actual cause. We have the lowest administrative costs around. So we don't design top-heavy administrations. We're as lean as we can get, but yet we build enough program support to make sure that we're putting together a quality operation.
That's incredible.
So if it goes block grant, the state's going to get some of it, then we'll get some of it. Let's keep most of those dollars going to the babies and the families that need them in the communities that they're at.
I 100% agree. And Matt, anything else before I let you go, sir?
No. It's a great place to work. Always looking for bus drivers and monitors.
How do we apply? How do we call?
550 Landmarks Boulevard. I know another address, 618-463-5946, and reach out and we'll get you an application.
Really appreciate your guys' time. Thank you so much for it today. We'll take a quick break. More of our daily show continues right around this commercial break on RiverBender.com. With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Guys.
I got these two knuckleheads.
Sorry, man.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Pennsylvania folks Lynn Vinhouse, Pop Life STL. Long time no see. How's the year been, Lynn?
Oh, it's been great, and it's good to see you. I'm so happy you invited me back because I was like, I haven't talked to CJ in such a long time, and you've had a great year.
It's been busy. We've had some fun.
Yeah, well, the 2024 film year started really slow because, in 2023 we had Barbenheimer, we had Barbie and Oppenheimer, and those were the movies that took all the attention. And this year we didn't really. Dune Part 2 came out in February, but we didn't really have too much going till I think in late summer, early fall. The fall movies started, and then it was this process. But I think there's no clear. As we're going into the new year, there's no clear winner, I think, in many of the awards, because the awards are coming up. Golden Globes are January 5th. Our Critics' Choice Association is January 12th. I turned in my nomination ballot last week for that, and then we vote in a couple weeks. Our St. Louis Film Critics, we just announced our awards, and we gave it to Dune Part 2. But we also honored Nickel Boys, which is not coming out here until January. And we also honored The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, the Dylan movie, which came out yesterday, which I'm going to just go fangirl on because I loved it so much. And so there's a lot of good movies coming out right now. And I don't know if I've told you this before, but the justwatch.com is your friend.
Really? What is that about?
Justwatch.com. Put in a title of a movie and it'll tell you where it's streaming.
Oh, that's perfect. That's my biggest fight right now, Lynn, because I want to find it, and then it says if you just Google it, it's not accurate because it'll say it's on YouTube TV, and then you look and it's not. It's behind another paywall. I mean, that's very good to know.
Yeah, so justwatch.com, and what it does is if it's not available, it'll tell you. It's that means it's still at theaters. But another thing is if you have to rent it or pay for it. Because, streaming, you have to have a subscription. So it'll say subscription, but it'll tell you like if it's on Hulu, and it'll tell you if you can rent it on app. You know how everybody's got their platforms like Google, YouTube, Apple Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that you rent movies on, and people even still do Redbox.
Really?
And things like that. Yeah, there's a few of them.
Wow.
Still around. So that is your friend, because, for instance, Christmas Eve, Gladiator 2 became available on video on demand or digital. Now that means you're going to pay like a higher price for it. It's not the $5.99 rental.
Right.
It's going to be $19.99. But if it's the whole family and you really want to see the baboons and the sharks and the rhino, that is one of those spectacle movies that you're like, what? Okay, sure. Fill the Coliseum with sharks. Sure. Okay. And so if you really want to see it, if that's the holiday movie that everybody's going to watch.
Nothing says Merry Christmas like a beheading, Lynn.
Right. Well, so you can. That's $20, and you have 10 people watching it. So, it works out. But there are movies that people do enjoy watching around the holidays. They've got the time, and they'll go to the theaters if there's something. I imagine Sonic the Hedgehog 3 will do really well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I have heard that Jim Carrey is epic in it. I've heard that it's really funny. And I saw Mufasa, the Lion King, and the demo. I'm not the demo. The 10-year-old kids are the demo.
Right.
And if they like it and the moms like it, fine. But I found it so dull and generic and pretty lackluster.
Well,
let's put it like that.
And you know what I'm starting to notice, and I'm not a movie critic by any stretch of the imagination, but just my takeaways. And before we started filming, talking about the Tom Hanks movie that just came out, and I told you how awesome that trailer looked to me. I just thought, man, this is a classic. This is a Forrest Gump, the modern Forrest. It really did look like that for me. I thought this was going to be a wholesome thing, and it was going to be really that kind of groundbreaking movie that we kind of needed from them. And hearing it, it seems like these trailers for these type of movies, like the Mufasa 2, it just seems like it puts on so much of a sell that by the time you go, all the good parts are already watched.
Oh, I know. They for Gladiator.
Yeah.
It was like you watched the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I think Mufasa's like that too. Because they use this computer generated imagery and they call it photorealism.
Okay.
It looks like real lions, but it looks like a nature documentary.
Right. And
Can
you get connected to it? Can you get connected to that? Because to me, this is my biggest disconnect. Like March of the Penguins was awesome. I'm not being funny about it. I thought it was a great documentary. Those are real life animals. But whenever it comes to something that obviously is a blend between the reality of life and then this different dimension of animation, I can't really get connected to that at all.
No, and they have these drone shots of the mountains and the savannas, and it's all beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then they have these extreme close-ups of the lions. And to me, there's not enough to distinguish the lions apart. So you got to keep in mind, like they have all these celebrities doing the voices.
Right.
Like Beyonce is Nala, and she was Nala in that unfortunate remake.
That was bad. Oh, that was terrible.
Oh, and this is the prequel.
Yeah.
This is Mufasa's story because it's called Mufasa.
Mm-hmm.
And then her daughter, Blue Ivy, plays the daughter of Simba and Nala. So that's her voice. But then we have all these other voices. And then like Mads Mikkelsen is the villain. He's the white lion. So they have white lions that are evil. So we can separate them from the brown lions who are the good ones. But then there's some evil in that. And then Timon and Pumbaa, who I used to love. Remember Hakuna Matata?
Yeah, right.
Funny.
Right.
Nathan Lane, Ernie Sabella, funny. So in the remake, they had Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner. They were fine.
Mm-hmm.
The Warthog and the Meerkat. Now they're just totally nails on a chalkboard annoying. They stop the action. It seems like they're on this endless journey. So they're on this endless journey, running around the savannah, and they use all this humor that's not funny. And then they start talking in these little meta things about the Broadway show. Okay.
What? Wait, hold on. No, stop. I'm sorry, Lynn. That's where I get so confused and angry with all of this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's meant for, like, I get the ultra lovers that, like, go through the universes and they got the Lionopedia or, like, the Star Wars Wikipedia. I think that's great. But I ain't got time to follow along with 18 different storylines here.
Oh, I know.
Right. That's why when you said that, I'm like, I'm sorry. This is like, gotta stop.
Well, yeah, I don't think you should have to do homework to watch a movie. And every time I go to a Marvel movie, I feel like I needed to do homework.
You're right. It's like I feel like I can't even start. So the other day, a perfect example, you'll love this. I decide, I got the dog. I just got some Christmas shopping done. I'm going to clean the house a little bit, and I'm going to turn on, whatever's on FX. And it was a Marvel weekend, like an Avengers weekend, and I was on the third one. I had no idea what was going on. I watched the first one, but even in those two movies, it was like a whole game changer.
I know, you have to know the minutia. And if you haven't read the comic books, I don't know who's related to who and who's really alive, who's dead, who's come back to life, and who was married to who and who. Oh, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And then they keep coming up with these superheroes that I never heard of.
Right.
I never heard of Kraven the Hunter. What is that?
Who's Dyson the Vacuum Man? Like when did he get thrown in? Well, and that's really, I'm so glad you brought this up because I'm getting burnt out on all of them. I thought it was really cool whenever it first came out, and it seems like it's just been a good run. And, I'm sure there's a universe for it, but I just don't think for the mass consumer that it's there anymore.
No, I think it's superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
And I think that's a real thing. And I have little patience anymore. I need to, get in and get out. Entertain me, tell a story. Right. I don't need bells and whistles if it's a good story. Like there's a couple movies right now that have come out and they're under the radar. But if you have the subscription series Max, HBO.
It's one of my favorite subscriptions, honestly. I think they have one of the best platforms there are.
Well, I think you're going to like this one. It just came out on streaming. It's called Juror Number 2. It's Clint Eastwood directed. I don't know how the marketing of this happened. Warner Brothers kind of buried this movie, but it's really fascinating about a fictional jury in Savannah, Georgia. It's kind of like the 12 Angry Men, but it's updated for modern sensibilities.
That's cool.
So it's called Juror Number 2, and it's on Max.
I'm taking notes for my break, Lynn.
Yes, and I think you'll really like it because it's just a gripping story. Nicholas Hoult, who's having quite the year, he has 4 big movies this year.
Wow, busy.
He was in The Order, which is really good with Jude Law about white supremacists in Pacific Northwest in 1983. And that's based on a true FBI story. And then he is in Nosferatu, which just opened Christmas Day. It's a remake of the vampire horror movie. And he's in that. And he's Juror Number 2. He plays this guy on the jury, and he realizes he has a moral dilemma. And I can't spoil the plot.
Okay, I was actually taking notes because I literally am taking notes right now for my break, Lynn.
Good because I think this is a surprise.
Well,
because people don't expect it to be this good.
I didn't even hear
gripping.
I didn't hear about the movie at all, though. Do they do that on purpose sometimes? Is it just a marketing decision at a table? Like I just don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's Clint Eastwood.
And Clint Eastwood's made like 48 movies.
Right, he's a legend.
And he's 94?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I
can't remember. I had this. Yeah, I talked about this when it was out on video a couple weeks ago. And I looked all that up. But yeah, Clint's like a machine movie-wise. And he's very economical. And this is an economical film. It's tidy. It's Toni Collette, Chris Messina, they're the attorneys. So this woman is killed after a public bar fight with her boyfriend.
Oh.
So the boyfriend's on trial.
Gotcha.
But did he really do it? And so it looks cut and dried, but it's not. And so the jury unravels it all. And then this juror, number 2, has a moral dilemma, which also affects things.
Wow.
So so I think you would like it, and that's a small film. And another film that's on Netflix that just opened December 20th is called The 6888. Now, You think you know everything about World War II, but we don't. And I didn't even know this story. And it's like, you know how like you're watching Hidden Figures and you're like, how did I not know about these women who did this space program? And you're always finding these stories out that you're just like, how did we not know about this? So this is a very real thing. During World War II, in around 1943, the servicemen in Europe, low morale, they were not getting their mail from their families. And, you know, back then there was no such thing as cell phones, texts, you know.
Right.
Because everything was letters. So the 688 was a battalion in the Army Corps, and it was all Black women. And because there was a 3-year backup on mail delivery, one of the moms that was waiting for word about her son ran into Eleanor Roosevelt, who's played by Susan Sarandon.
Oh, wow.
And tells her that nobody's getting their mail from their loved ones. Like the soldiers aren't getting them, and they're not getting home, the letters home. So she gets her husband, FDR, played by Sam Waterston, and they look into it. So they assigned this battalion, the 668, to go over and sort all the mail. 17 million pieces of mail.
Oh, God.
That were not distributed to soldiers and to their families.
Wow.
And this was at a time of segregation. And this was at a time where these higher ups, these really jerky Army officers, don't think these women are going to do it. But they got to do something. And they put them in, but they treat them terrible. It's very discrimination, you know, and so Kerry Washington plays his captain. She's a no nonsense captain, and she gets everybody together, and they have a lot of, you know, the internal conflicts. This is written and directed by Tyler Perry.
Oh, wow. Okay. Really cool.
And and Oprah shows up in the movie too. She plays part. So it's very different for Tyler Perry, very different. But it takes, I will say, it takes a while to build. It takes a while to get going. But once you see how these women work so hard to do this, but can you imagine all these soldiers are not getting mail? And, you know, the morale is really low because it's 1943. So we had no idea about this story, and this really happened.
Right. I mean, it's incredible. And Lynn, I know that we're touching on some of our time constraints here, but you're right. I mean, these are so important stories. I was just talking to Ann Montgomery out of Arizona. She wrote a story about her friend's father that was one of the grave diggers during World War II during the invasion of Normandy and on D-Day. And, you know, to hear about what some of these folks went through and the morale that they had to keep to make sure that no one saw all these folks that were on the ground. I mean, you hear about these things that you never heard of in school, and it just changes your perspective on so much, just like this one.
Oh my gosh, it does.
You know, I mean, it's just incredible. Now, before I let you, I'm so sorry. Before I let you go, I want to talk about the Bob Dylan movie because this is very, very fascinating to me. This came out of left field.
Talk about a movie that's going to change perceptions.
Yeah, this thing came out of left field.
Oh, it's called A Complete Unknown. It is one of my favorites of the year. Timothée Chalamet is incredible as Bob Dylan. Immersive. Whether you like Bob Dylan or not as an artist, there's no denying his place in pop culture history. And this is his early days as a folk singer straight out of Minnesota. He comes to New York. He gets involved in the folk scene in Pete Seeger. And if you aren't familiar with that period, it's really good. The folk scene, Greenwich Village, all the little clubs. And then how fame affects him. And he's at the Newport Folk Festival, and he's moving on this album, Highway 61 Revisited. I encourage everyone to get on board with this. One of the greatest albums ever. But it's him going electric. So this movie's based on this book, 2015, Dylan Goes Electric, because he changed. They said it's like the year the 60s split into the 60s. So nobody wants him to advance. They all want him to be playing the folk songs, times they are changing, blowing in the wind, all that. But it shows a creative process. But what I love about this movie so much, first of all, everybody plays their own music, sings. It's before live crowds. The woman playing Joan Baez is great, Monica Barbero. She and Dylan have these duets at the Newport. They're just wonderful. And Johnny Cash is in it. Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan were pen pals.
Really?
Speaking of letter writing, who knew that?
Wow.
And so James Mangold directed I think he worked on the script, but he directed it, and he did the Johnny Cash movie, Walk the Line.
That's a great movie.
It is. He did Ford versus Ferrari, another great movie. So he's got this wonderful cast from top to bottom. It's great. I loved everything about it. It moves. It's 2 hours and 21 minutes. It could have gone on, but Highway 61, if you want to dig deeper into the Highway 61 Revisited album, that is part of St. Louis history too. So Bob Dylan is making a nod to music history because Highway 61, because Memphis and St. Louis and all that. So he's paying tribute to roots rock.
Wow.
At the time, and the blues, roots blues and stuff. So that's important. But just shaping him as an artist is really interesting. And they don't soften him because he's still mysterious. He's still elusive. He's a little prickly.
Yeah.
He gets really confrontational with people.
Really? Yeah, I wouldn't imagine him to be confrontational at all. Just kind of like out of the way type of guy. Wow. Well, honestly, my favorite group's still the Traveling Wilburys. I think he's just awesome in that. That's one of my favorites. I'm a big Jeff Lynne guy. I saw Jeff Lynne's show in St. Louis a couple months ago. That was fantastic. But I love Traveling Wilburys.
Have you seen the tribute band ELO Jeff Faulkner?
Yeah, they're good. He is really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff Faulkner. I think you've had him on the show.
Actually, I think I have too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I think so because we've had him on our podcast. Well, there's so many good movies coming out in January. There's this one, real quick, I'll tell you, it's called The Last Showgirl. If you've never seen Pamela Anderson like this.
Wow.
And Dave Bautista, Mr. Marvel.
There he goes, Mr. WWE.
I know. And so it's a surprising. I love when movies surprise you. I love when you go in not having any expectations and you are blown away. I love that.
Me too.
So that is it. And then we have to mention July 11th, they just dropped the trailer for the new Superman movie directed by St. Louis and James Gunn.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he was in St. Louis. That's wonderful.
Yeah, James Gunn. He's the one that did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
That Superman, it looks good.
It does. And Nicholas Hoult, speaking of, I just said, he was in Nosferatu, The Order, Juror Number 2, and he was John in the Garfield movie. Just FYI.
That's awesome. I love the Garfield movie. I grew up with that movie.
Oh my God. The Garfield, when my kids were little, the lasagna and the cat eating lasagna and everything. So James Gunn is releasing Superman because, now he's in charge of DC on his dad's birthday, July 11th.
That's cool.
So his dad passed. So he dedicated to that. But Nicholas Holt's playing Lex Luthor. But this new guy, David Cornsweet, is Superman. And I always think of Superman as Christopher Reeve. And if you haven't seen, God, if you love HBO Max, you got to watch the Christopher Reeve
That's
documentary.
really good. That is a very good documentary.
Profoundly moving.
Yeah,
so
it really
his son
is.
Will Reeve, he works for ABC News. He's on Good Morning America. He's going to play a reporter in the.
Oh no. Well, I think we lost Lynn there. Let's see if I can Here, let's do this. Oh, shoot. If you're just, okay, hold on. We hate to lose Lynn like that. A little bit of a technical difficulty. We'll bring Lynn back in just a couple of weeks and have some more conversations with her. You'll stay there. I'll stay here on RiverBender.com, Roku TV.
Guys.
I got these two knuckleheads.
Sorry, man.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
All right. It wouldn't be Christmas without a relative trying something new.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like a new flavor of ice cream.
Like a new flavor of ice cream. You know, there's always people's dishes that I avoid. You know, like, you know that Aunt Linda's going to be coming over with, you know, some concoction that she just read off of the internet or on Facebook in those 30-minute recipes. She hasn't tried it on her kids yet. She's trying it on you. Do you do it? But with ice cream, you don't really have to take that chance. I mean, it's just going to be something you might not like the best.
Well, right, yeah, you might not like it the best. And at least in this case, we're talking about Walnut Grove Dairy ice cream.
What is that?
Walnut Grove Dairy was a dairy, so they had milk, and then they also made ice cream and buttermilk and other
Were they located
products.
in Maple Orchard?
Whoa.
Walnut Grove, Maple Orchard.
Okay, I was like, what is? Okay, I've looked at so many maps today to try to figure out where things are located that I was like, well, maybe that's what it's called now. Throw me off, CJ.
My fault here. All right. Well, what did we learn? So was this a local?
Yes. Okay. So Walnut Grove was local. Walnut Grove Dairy was in Walnut Grove.
Okay.
And it was a local dairy, and by 1924 they were located at 809 Broadway, so right down Broadway, you know. And whole dairy right there, and they had specialty flavors for Christmas and also Thanksgiving of their ice cream. And so the reason that I wrote about this is that I found an ad from December 1924 that talked about the different flavors of ice cream. And so they had the regular bricks of ice cream and hazelnut and vanilla. They had cranberry ice, rainbow brick, and then it said individuals, Santa Claus, and turkey. And I was like, I would like further explanation of these flavors. And
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Yes.
Cherry and vanilla.
That sounds great.
Was it?
I don't know. I spent so much time trying to figure out what these flavors were. I looked at I was like, maybe this is just a common occurrence for that time period. Like maybe I can find these flavors described elsewhere. I could not. I still don't know what Santa Claus is. I still don't know what turkey is. And then I looked at other years, and in 1925, they also had corn and husk.
Wow.
And horn of plenty. And in 1926, they also had candlestick. And I don't know what any of these flavors were. And then in 1927, there was a Thanksgiving ad that had just the flavor football.
See, I don't like that. I don't know if I like that too much. What the hell is football? I mean, like, for real. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm a parent, okay, in 1924. If I'm a parent in 1924 and my kid looks at me and goes, Mom, I'm going to eat some Santa Claus, I think it's drugs.
Well, you know, I mean, they had cocaine and Coca-Cola around that. It could have had drugs in it.
Well, and the medicine was worse than the cocaine. I mean, have you seen some of those ingredients for some of those pharmaceuticals back then? Yes. It was like mercury. Right. You had a little hint of lead in there to cure your headache.
Yeah,
you know?
Lead is very... No, I shouldn't even joke about this. No,
not in this society.
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Thank God it's not COVID era. We'd have been arrested.
Dispensing poor,
oh, my God.
Poor advice here. I'm the type of person, if I go to a restaurant, like, I want full descriptions of every single thing.
Oh, God, yeah. No, I've been so Gordon Ramsay killed me in a way because I am so picky when it comes to this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like what's in things?
Yeah, no. If I go to a restaurant, I want to know what you're doing because I will not eat anything with Sprouts. It's because of my food safety segment. You know, Sprouts are the quickest way to get food poisoning.
Oh, I think you mentioned that. Yeah.
And so if you're getting fried rice, take the Sprouts out. I would just ask for plain fried rice. It's not worth it. And anyway, so now I can't, like, I'm good with unique foods.
Yeah.
But I want to... That depends. Let me clarify here, because now I'm getting hot, because now I'm remembering an argument. Because some restaurants are cheap. I don't want to say cheaper. It's just they're more affordable.
Yeah.
Food's good, but if it's presented on this sloppy mess of a plate and, like, it's not like, oh, the food's touching, but it is the food's touching. Like, I want it to look, if I'm going to experiment with my palate here, it's going to be in a fine dining setting.
Got it. Okay, because you want to know if you're trying something new.
Wow, I sounded really pompous.
No. If you're trying something new, you want to make sure that
Christmas.
It's the way that you that you would actually like whatever it is.
St. Mary's open today. I felt terrible. I should run for office. Like, that was the most egotistical thing I've ever said on this show. You know?
I mean, I understand what you're trying to say, though. Like, if it's something you've never tried before, you want to have it done in a way that you're actually getting the experience whatever that
right
is.
Way.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
You know how many times I've noticed that people's food palates are completely ruined because of one bad experience,
right?
And like they never eat they never try or experiment again, and it's like it's so weird. Food is like unique because it could do stuff to you.
I thought I didn't like Italian food.
Get the hell out of the studio.
I know. I'm sorry, CJ. This is a deep dark secret in this room.
Oh my God!
I thought I didn't like Italian food, and I got older and realized I'd only had Americanized Italian food. Real Italian food here or elsewhere, I mean, is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's so fresh and great.
You can stay.
No, but I mean,
you're right though.
It's
because
a completely different experience.
You go to Fazoli's and get chicken parmesan, which isn't even chicken parmesan. It's not Italian. I just want to throw that out there. I'm so tired of hearing that too. But you go to like Olive Garden or one of those places that are okay, but it turns you off whenever you get greasy and watery spaghetti compared to real spaghetti.
Right,
I get it.
So,
but with ice cream, you can experiment. Like Ben and Jerry, these guys are about. I want to know how they come up with their names. I don't think they have a department. I think old Ben and Jerry are just sitting there. Old Jerry's just in his room. It's like teddy bear.
Do you think they come up with the name first or the flavor?
Ooh, name first.
Okay.
I think it's name first because I think that's a good question. See, now we're getting into an intellectual conversation and debate. This is what our forefathers wanted in Congress. This is what we should be debating. I truly believe, Senator, that the name came before the ice cream. Here's why. Because you can't make the ice cream and then name it. It seems counterproductive. I think you come up with the name and then you make the ice cream that would fit. Like, you come up with teddy bear. What's teddy bear?
It's got Teddy Grahams in it, obviously.
See, I would have gone a different... This is why you got to make the name first. Because if you got a chocolate ice cream and you maybe have some swirls in there, maybe a little caramel, it resembles the colors of a teddy bear.
Oh.
Yeah, see? So that way...
I was going literal and you were going figurative.
But if you have the name first, then the sky's the limit. Because the ice cream's not made. So you can discuss these things.
Well... I feel like
I'm ready for Ben and Jerry. I am ready, Ben.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary.
I even got the board excited.
Okay, well then this is perfect. Pick one of these flavors and tell me what you would, because now we have the name. What would you put in it?
Santa Claus?
Okay, Santa Claus.
Told you, cherry vanilla.
Well, that's cherry
Done.
vanilla. Yeah, done. All right. Corn and husk.
Oh God, that's just shit.
What is corn and husk ice cream, CJ?
I got you. Okay, I'm gonna go yellow cake on this.
Okay.
Yellow cake, and then I'm gonna go with mint green for the husk part, and then I'm going to go with a little bit of fruity pebble for a little bit of kernel.
Mint green, do you just mean the color or do you mean
No,
mint flavor?
mint flavor.
You're going mint flavor with fruity pebble?
With fruity pebble kernels. Not fruity flavor, just the kernel, like the actual texture of the fruity pebble.
Well, what would the flavor be?
Bland. Doesn't matter.
No flavor.
No flavor.
Next question.
Doesn't matter. Texture.
Okay, so
fair. That's a tough one. That was a really bad one.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll do all of them.
I was good. I felt like I held my own.
That was good. Candlestick.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, okay. I got this one. Okay. We're going to go vanilla sherbet.
All right.
Okay.
What's vanilla sherbet?
Sherbet. You know, vanilla, but it's sherbet instead of orange.
Does that exist, or are you making it up right now?
It's 100% real. You can get it at Schnucks today.
All right.
Vanilla sherbet. You got to go in there, grab you a box of that.
A brick of that.
And then here's what you're going to want. You're going to want a hint, very small hint of Oh, no, you're going to want a hint of what goes in a candle? Blueberry. Here's why. Hear me out. You're going to want a hint of blueberry, a hint of mint. And then that's
you really like mint,
No,
don't
here's
you?
why. Because the husk, you needed to have something that threw off the taste, so you had a little bit of the husk in there. But this is a candle, so you're going to smell vanilla, mint, and blueberry.
So wait, with the husk one, were you going to put actual husk?
No, I just wanted it green. You got to have some green in there. See, you got to go. You got to go color. Merry Christmas. You got to go color, texture, and you have to go for the actual picture.
Okay, all right.
That's why I went that way.
With the candlestick one, it's vanilla sherbet with blueberry and mint.
Yes.
So what's the color?
Blue. Lightish blue, like a light blue candle.
Okay, so it's the vanilla is the flavor.
Yeah.
But the blueberry, is there a blueberry flavor too, or is it just color?
A hint.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. You said that.
Very small hint.
That.
Yeah. Subtle.
Okay.
Subtle nod.
Subtle
subtle nod of
essence
blueberry.
of blueberry.
I'm a connoisseur. What's next?
This is going
I am
great.
good.
Horn of plenty.
I could get fired, but I'm not.
Don't let this be how you get fired.
This is Christmas. I'm not going to do that. No, Horn of Plenty's easy. Okay, got it. Got you. Chocolate ice cream.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to go cookie dough bites in here.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to go dark chocolate chunks.
Okay.
And then we're going to go with hard shell.
Okay.
Then we're going to go with some marshmallow to add that horn in there. Okay.
Okay.
And then we're going to top it off with a little bit of chocolate fudge.
I thought you were going to say mint.
Oh my God, that would have been funny. I ruined my own damn bit. Oh man. Okay. But yeah, chocolate fudge. I'll be honest. This is how honest my brain is. I'm serious.
I think that sounds good.
Seriously,
I would eat that one.
You're making a cow.
Oh, I was just thinking you were just shoving as much in there as you could.
Making a cow.
All right, I like it. All right, we're
See how good
I roll.
Honestly, I think this should have been the palette of choice.
Well,
if I was around 100 years ago.
It might have been. We don't know.
True.
We will never know unless somebody can bring in like the recipe list from
I'm going to get sued by
Dairy.
this guy's grandson. You wait and see.
Well, Walnut Grove Dairy doesn't exist anymore,
good.
They can't. Well, not
good. Not good for my legal woes.
Right.
Good for my
yes,
legal.
Yes.
So what was the last one? Was there one more?
There are two more.
Oh, good. I'm ready to play the game.
All right. The next one we're going to do is turkey.
Caramel ice cream.
Okay.
So you're just going to make vanilla ice cream, dump some caramel in there. You got caramel. Okay. What was the name of the flavor again? Turkey?
Turkey.
Okay. Wow.
This is a Thanksgiving special.
Yeah, someone hates kids.
Oh, and Christmas. Yeah.
Okay. So caramel ice cream. And then we're going to go with a little bit of cherry.
Okay.
Make a little gobbler.
That's perfect. I like that.
A little gobbler action for you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some yellow cake batter, not the ice cream, just yellow cake batter, throw it in there.
Okay.
Because of their yellow feet.
Okay.
Then we got marshmallow in there, or it's not. I won't go marshmallow. I will go fluff in there. You throw some fluff in there, and then a little bit of hard shell. Done. Turkey. Thanks.
It's the right color too.
25 cents. Thank you. You see where I'm going?
Yeah,
I am painting a picture.
Yeah. No, I like
all
that.
senses covered.
Okay, this is the last one.
This is dangerous.
And it is football.
Oh my God, I'm not doing it. Well, I am going to answer, but I'm not going to answer the way I want to answer. Because I have a lot of football jokes. Got a lot of Pabst Blue Ribbon jokes in there too.
Okay.
But I'm not going to do it. Okay, football. Here's what we're going to go with. I'm going to change it up because I feel like for all like the regular ice cream lovers out there, I'm hitting their palates with chocolate vanilla, but hear me out here. I'm going to go pumpkin ice cream.
Okay.
For the base. A little bit of vanilla in there, splash it in. Okay, that's going to get to that yellow to kind of white out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Slap in some caramel ice cream. That's going to get that football color. But then here's where you add your little marshmallow topping lines and then a little bit of mint. That's the football for you. I'm done. You're welcome. You're all welcome.
And now we know. Now we know all the flavors.
This is why I should be elected president.
To just focus on ice cream.
That's going to be my policy.
This is what we
My
need.
domestic policy is I'm going to answer every unresolved ice cream flavor out there. I will answer them all. I'd win the youth vote, like the actual
Right.
youth vote, the 4-year-olds. I'd win them pretty much.
Yeah, no one that could actually vote. Everyone that couldn't.
I start the revolution. The 7-year-olds revolt. They've had enough. Okay. So what was this a popular ice cream? Like that's what I'm
That
trying to
flavor?
figure out. Yeah, like this whole like Dairy Grove.
Okay, Walnut Grove Dairy, the ice cream is extremely popular. But
How popular was it?
prolific.
That was my Jerry Seinfeld impression. Okay.
Actually, no. We've got, this is great. I didn't think about this while you were talking about it, but we've got a political angle, CJ, for it. In 1928, the ice cream actually influenced local politics.
Oh.
Yes.
Local.
So the Easton Improvement Association
Oh my God.
was voting about who would be their next president. And the two people whose names were up for vote were Emil Schrimpf and Edward Joel. And Edward Joel was the manager of, his family owned a Walnut Grove Dairy. So he was the manager of the plant, the dairy plant.
Uh-huh.
And he did not want the position. So he offered everyone who voted against him a gallon of ice cream.
That's how you do it.
I know. And so he lost because everybody wanted the ice cream. And there was this great quote that said, Schrimpf was reluctant to stand for the office, but he didn't have anything to offer unless it was empty bottles. And who wants empty bottles? Because he worked at the Illinois Glass Company, so he didn't have any ice cream to hand out. So yeah, it was popular, and it was helpful if you didn't want to take a position in whatever organization you were part of.
That is actually hilarious. I like that a lot. Okay, I like that one.
Yeah, so they were around. Walnut Grove Dairy was founded in 1857 on a farm near Fosterburg called Walnut Grove. And then they were around until, I'll give you the basic dates. They were bought by Prairie Farms Dairy in 1960. So the buildings were bulldozed in November 1965, but all in all around for just over 100 years.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. So where was it located again?
It was located, well, the final location was 809 Broadway. And they had a previous location at 811 Broadway and then built this like new, very, very up-to-date plant in 1914, which was right next door. Okay, it was right next door. 811, 809 East Broadway were the addresses. And yeah, they were there until the 1960
Really cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so how was ice cream a big part of Christmas?
I think ice cream was a big part of everything. They really at least pushed in advertising, pushed the ice cream. There are all kinds of ice cream ads. One of the ones I put in the article. So the article has pictures inside Walnut Grove Dairy and a picture of Walnut Grove Dairy, an early picture that from about 1910 that has a little like buggy to the side of it. So you can see all those in the article. But one of the things I also added was an ad from 1920 that says, get this thought, ice cream is a food. And it's kind of like the whole like Snickers, like hungry, why wait? Like this is food. You should, you know, the Snickers hungry, why wait ads? You're looking at me like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I feel like I know them when you say them, but I don't know if that's what I knew the campaign as. Is that the one like, you're not you when you're hungry?
Similar, like if you're hungry, you should definitely eat this candy bar instead of real food.
I'm having a hot flash. Not being funny. Like, are you sweating down here?
It's hot.
Okay, I thought I was literally getting ready to have a panic attack on you or something. Like, I was flushing out of my face for a second.
It's really hot right now.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
We should get some ice cream.
All right.
It's a food.
Why don't we do this? We're halfway through our first one.
Okay.
We'll take a break and we'll come back and learn more about this weird ice cream flavor. Because there's some splaining to do. I'm not a fan of this. I'm telling you, I think that this had some weird connotation with drugs.
With drugs.
Those young kids out there, 1924.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
With their treasures, hear the snow crunch, see the kids punch. This is Santa's big scene, and above all.
Oh, God, yeah. You know, everyone's like, oh, Elvis changed the world when he was young. You know, Elvis sweating it out on stage.
He was dedicated.
Getting taken advantage of. Yeah. I mean, poor guy. I'm not being funny. But I just, his old albums, you know, you're like, Fat Elvis singing Silver Bells. I'm in there with it, you know? Kind of a sad man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I concur. Here.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Welcome back to our daily show. Lacy McDonald taking us back 100 years ago. The Xmas special. So where was this ice cream sold? Did we talk about this?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so I know...
I don't ask very many of those.
No, we've been talking about the important things, like what flavor it
right.
actually means, because I care more about that, honestly, because I can't figure it out.
I think it's 10 times more important.
That's what I want out of this.
Thank you.
Where was it sold? Okay, there were multiple, I think like 6 retail branches. There were retail branches in Upper Alton on Washington Avenue, and Alton on State Street and Central Avenue, and East Alton and in Wood River. So Upper Alton, Alton on State, Central, East Alton, Wood River. At least 5. And then, like I said, the plant was on Broadway. Customers were invited to visit the plant for a tour. So the whole thing started in the 1850s. And at first, they just went door to door. Walnut Grove had a wagon and horses and went door to door with their milk. And then later on, they had 10 milk trucks. So it really evolved over time.
Wow.
And, yeah. And one thing that was really interesting, too, when we're talking about like milk production in general, is that until the 1850s, the dairy industry was mostly just family-owned dairy farms. You grew your own, you raised your own cows to milk, and then you had your own milk in your dairy cow. But you didn't sell a lot outside the family because it could be unsafe to, transport milk for very long. I mean, it could spoil very easily. But at the end of the 1800s and early 1900s, especially thanks to Louis Pasteur, who was the French chemist who pretty much invented pasteurization, that helped demonstrate how harmful microbes in milk were and how they caused sickness. And so he invented the process of pasteurization. So liquids are rapidly heated and cooled to kill most of the organisms. And then in 1895, commercial pasteurizing machines for milk were introduced in the United States. So that's when they could really start having these more large-scale dairies and it'd be safe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah, because people used to die from like raw milk or other things that had microbes in it all the time. It was horrible. Wow. So it was a huge, huge deal in terms of just technology. I put pasteurization right up there with like sewer treatment.
Yeah,
like the clean,
I could see that for sure.
Because those were 2 major things that affected how just sick people got from like foodborne illnesses, from things in sewage, that kind of thing. So yeah, it was a huge deal. And then they bought a retail milk business in 1908 in Upper Alton, and then established the dairy, downtown. And then in 1914 is when they built the really big one. JJ Woolner and Son built that.
So was there a disconnect? And this is where and I'm sure I'm asking you something that like completely off base here, but I could only imagine, because I'm trying to find a way to kind of correlate this with modern, like, conversations in a way, not really like happening, not hot topic issues, but just because people are really starting to have this conversation again about, what type of food processing is right for me, what type of additives are right for me. Right. Was there a disconnect from maybe families especially in Alton in 1924, even when this was starting to happen, when pasteurization happened, that just really didn't believe that this was safe? Like, was there a transitionary period for folks to realize that, hey, this new way of doing it is actually the right way to do it? It's actually the same way, because there is a disconnect when it comes to getting everybody on the same page.
Absolutely. I am confident that that there were people that were like, and I mean, if you're just doing it at home, like if you have your own cow, you can kind of control a lot of it more.
Tons different.
Yes. But in terms of like industrialization, I'm sure there were people that were like, I don't trust this.
Yeah.
It's not, good for me. It's maybe ruining a nutritional part of the milk. But at the same time, this is a time when people are dying from this. And so you've seen people that who have gotten sick from whatever it is. And tuberculosis was an issue too. They only used cows that had been tested for tuberculosis.
Really?
Yes. And because that could be, I guess, transferred through milk. But so I think it was it's kind of like how now there are certain people that don't want to take steps against certain diseases because they themselves have never experienced those. And so it feels like they're not a threat. Whereas if you are seeing people dying from something, it can be easier to be like, okay, my friend died from drinking milk that had these microbes in it. Maybe that will solve this problem.
Right.
Or, a childhood illness that, you knew people that died from. And so there's a big push for you to take it seriously. Whereas I think when we're far enough removed from it, it's easy to be like, oh, maybe we don't need to pasteurize things. Maybe we are taking it. And there's always taking it too far.
Right.
So
of
I don't
course.
want to say that
it always gets that point. I mean, it really
once
does.
you get into certain things. But
kind of how the pendulum effect works. You take it too far, and then someone has resistance to it, and then it swings back the other way. It's just how life works. It's all it is. But I didn't know if there was any editorial in the letter to the editor in the Telegraph, moms against.
Oh God, no.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if that was a thing or.
I haven't seen anything like that. It's mostly been like, oh my gosh, guys, this is really great.
That's cool. That's good to know. I just didn't know if there was ever that push or any type of behind the scenes with Lacy McDonald.
And I'm not entirely sure because it could have been buried somewhere. It could have been something I wasn't looking for. It could have been that I was looking for Walnut Grove and there was some little article that was the
Grove of Walnut.
I was going to say about pasteurization, but not in relation to this or earlier.
Gotcha.
Because I was really looking at 1924 and then I was looking at Walnut Grove. So I wasn't looking at the whole history of people's feelings about pasteurization in the area, which would be interesting on its own. But yeah, I don't know, because there are always going to be people that are wary, and for good reason sometimes. But I didn't see anything like that with this. And certainly by 1914, all the articles were very positive.
That's good. I didn't know. It just, I'm always so fascinated about public discourse. Yeah. It's so hold on. I know we got to take a break here, and it's Christmas and I shouldn't talk, but I was just reading and watching and learning about the election of the Thomas Jefferson, John Adams one. Do you know what they were saying about each other?
What?
Oh my God. He called John Adams a hermaphrodite.
Yeah.
Think about it, and it's things like that where we talk about language and man, that's getting chippy, and it's look at a newspaper from 1800 and you tell me what's nice. These people were ruthless and evil. Just stone cold evil.
Well, I've talked about before, early we're back to the early journalism. We had early journalism and then a more moderate discourse. Yeah. And now we're back to only reading about what you agree with.
I'm gonna write by candlelight soon. It's just amazing. I was just reading some of these newspaper headlines. I'm like, God dang, who would have wanted to be in public life back then? Nobody. Nobody. All right, hey, Lacy, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show on this Christmas with Santa Claus. You're leading up for Santa. Santa Claus.
I'm the lead up for Santa. You're going to have to ask him what flavor he thinks Santa Claus is.
Oh, shoot, I didn't think about that. Santa Claus is making a stop today. He was apparently just stopping by up in Canada, Quebec, and he said he's going to swing back around, stop by Alton. He said he wants to read 'Twas a Night during Christmas during the show. How about that?
That'll be perfect.
There you go. And we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more on this Christmas Wednesday right after this.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Alrighty, it wouldn't be Christmas in the 618 or Christmas in general if we didn't get to talk to the big man. I sent a letter out a couple of weeks ago and I said, hey, if you have time, if you're flying through the neighborhood, you were just up in Quebec and turned back around.
I did. It's been a good journey, long journey, but a great journey.
Well, and Santa, thank you for being here.
Thank you, CJ. I appreciate it.
You've been busy in Madison County this year.
I have. You know, I travel all across the world, and I love coming to the Metro St. Louis area, especially Alton, Bethalto, Godfrey. Godfrey, Wood River, all over this Riverbend area. It's great.
So take me through some of the conversations that you've had with the little ones and just their anticipation for the big day.
You know, having these conversations with these kids has been such a joy. But some of the questions that they've asked, whether, what's Rudolph doing? What's your favorite reindeer? It's always intriguing to see their faces when I'm answering their questions. But a lot of it is, how the reindeers, what do the reindeers eat? How's Mrs. Claus? So a lot of questions about the North Pole.
Well, and too, I mean, when you have spots like, that are just beautiful all around the Riverbend and throughout the world, obviously, but here in Alton, I mean, it makes it fun, I'm sure, to come back and hang out with the little ones. These business owners went all out in the community to decorate.
They did. And some of my favorite events that we've gotten to hang out here at the Riverbend, the Bethalto Christmas Village.
That's cool.
Free event, free walkthrough with the family. They have a little barrel train ride for all the kids. And come up to the gazebo, see Mrs. Claus and I, get a picture with them. But the people over at the Bethalto Christmas Village, they do such an amazing job decorating the the park.
You got me, man. I don't know.
I always say it wrong. But, the park is amazing. The decorations that they do, we are honored to be there every Saturday and Sunday from Thanksgiving all the way up until the weekend before Christmas.
Really cool. So you were on the tail end of your time in Bethalto until you got to head back up north.
We did. And, we got to meet some great business owners over here in Alton, Coco and Oak.
She's great. Madeline's the best.
Madeline is wonderful. And, they have such a great shop there.
Yeah.
Some little small business boutique, and we had some kids come in there and get to hang out with us. We've got to meet a lot of great photographers over here in this area. So that was always fun. We work with different photographers that get our picture taken with and have kids come and enjoy hanging out with us. So a lot of fun.
Hey, now I got to ask you, do you get nervous around this time of the year? Because it's like, man, these toys are getting a little bit more intricate as the years go on here.
I do. I do.
Great.
And I've always been told, that if you're not nervous, then there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Because you should always be wanting excellence. And, here at Christmas time, Mrs. Claus and I, we want to be excellent. We want to make sure that we provide such a service to this world, to our communities, to this country, and all over to everyone.
Well, what's Christmas mean to you? I know that's a hard question, but I mean, it's a really fascinating one because especially with what you do with children and families, you're hearing all these different perspectives that I'm sure that 90% of us really won't hear because those are intimate, private moments with those children. But what does it mean to you after all these years? Has it changed at all, the meaning of Christmas?
To me, the meaning of Christmas is always going to be love.
Yeah.
It's always going to be grace. It's always going to be forgiveness, acceptance. And, we want to make sure that people understand the real meaning of Christmas, and it's peace on earth, goodwill to men. It's about the birth of the Savior, Jesus. And so, we get the requests for the PS5s. We get the requests for the dollhouses, with the Barbie dream homes, the phones,
the Easy Bake Oven.
The easy, oh man, 1980s.
I'm taking you back,
Cabbage
aren't I?
Patch Kids.
The Smash 'em Up Derby set.
Ooh,
That's not even going
there
back.
You go.
That was the one gift that you gave my dad that it got taken away because my uncle got in it early.
We try.
You did it. The parents are the ones that took it away.
That's right. But we always want to try to remind the kids and even the parents, people that we come in contact with, it's about loving others. It's about showing love and demonstrating that love to others during the Christmas season.
And it seems like too, just from watching a few of the encounters, it's some of those moments that you have with the kids are really for their parents, because life's stressful and all year you're working your butts off and you're trying to make sure bills are paid and life's good and everyone's happy, but it gets stressful this time of year. And I'm sure, and whenever you see the kids with you, it's fun to see the parents because they're living vicariously in a way and watching those core memories develop. It's so cool.
There are these parents, you could tell the stress on their face.
Yeah.
You could tell that there's some parents, some families, bills are piling up.
Yep.
The work was taking its toll. The stress of just having family.
Right.
But to see their kids, go to Santa, the magic, when they get to come and encounter Mrs. Claus and I, to be able to tell us, what the fun thing they love to do in their life, and then tell us what they want for Christmas, to have conversations. Because, Mrs. Claus and I, when we meet with these kids, we don't just push them off. We don't just say, hey, what are you doing for Christmas, kid?
This ain't a Christmas story.
Right. We want to hear about them. We want to have conversation. We want to make it a magical experience for them, for their parents, and the parents, their eyes just, and the joy, the just tiny moments of relaxation.
We won.
Yeah. We won. Exactly. We won. Until the kid says, "Hey, I want a puppy," or I want a snake. That's
how about
the
a
last
horse?
one we had. Yeah, a pony. So, and then their eyes just kind of go, "Whoa!" But no, it's been magical for the kids and for the parents.
Well, and it's really cool because, especially too, I mean, it's a relationship. And, to know that for that child to come up there knowing that they aren't just getting to talk to Santa, Santa's talking to them, you're looking forward to it too.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
I look forward to it all the time. It's interesting though, because, the older kids, the kind of, Santa.
Right.
And then you have that younger kids, that kind of that 3 years old to 8 years old that are so excited to see Santa.
Yep.
And then you had the stranger danger Santa, where you had those 1.5 to 3 year olds where Santa looks great in the book, Santa looks great in the movie, but when they get right up to me, it's like, whoa, and then the tears and the screams just
what
start
do you do to combat that? Is that something you just kind of encounter because all kids are different?
We do, and we prepare for it, just as the point of, we know that, a kid might be scared.
Yeah.
But we always take like fidgets, little poppets
with
us.
That's cool.
To try to help the kids.
Yeah.
Relax, calm down, because goodness, as adults we can experience anxiety and nervousness. Right. And so we know these kids, here's a stranger, here's a guy, they've never really met, and now it's like, here, sit on his lap, sit next to him. So we try to make it as pleasant, we try to make it as calming as possible for any kid that comes to see Mrs. Claus and I.
Well, and I think that's such a great note too for area parents when they know that you're in town to go, hey, we're going to pull out all the stops and we're going to make sure, because especially as a kid, we've all been there where we were excited, then we did get that nervous bug and we didn't end up doing it, and then you kick yourself and go, wait, and why didn't I do that? Why didn't I sit on Santa's lap or talk to him?
Right.
And to know that you're pulling out the stops saying, hey, we're getting you through this. Right. We're getting you through this.
Definitely.
What are some of the things that you and Mrs. Claus talk about, after the encounter, after you get to see all those folks? What's the ride back home look like? What's that flight?
The ride back home is always great because it's kind of that time that we reflect.
Yeah.
It's the time we kind of laugh at some of the requests.
Yeah.
We always have a question, would you rather for the kids after we ask them what they want for Christmas. And so one of the would you rathers is, would you rather have a stocking filled with French fries, or would you rather have a stocking filled with chicken nuggets? And so we talk about, these kids' reactions when they hear that. We talk about some of the requests, the present requests that they have. But we also talk about, we've had some encounters where we've had kids come and they really kind of start pouring out their hearts. Yeah. We've had even some adults come and share, and just kind of the emotion that roller coaster that they go through. And so we talk about that. We talk about just how encouraging it is to us to see the magic in these kids' eyes.
Well, and see, that's why I think it's so important to when we're at Christmas time to go and see you, because you don't judge, and for all the things that are going on. And I've been there where it's like, man, what am I going to do tomorrow? What's next week going to look like? And those moments of, I might be, 25 years old, but they're Santa Claus. Let's go tell Santa what I got. You never know how that could change someone's perspective, especially at this time of the year.
Right.
It's so important. Now, what's been the gift request of the year? Is there one that you said snake. Has that been the prime one? Has there been one that you're like, wow?
Probably the most requested has been the PS5.
Has it?
Yeah. Any of the electronics is the most requested. The PS5, the Switch, the Xboxes. But a lot this year, a lot of requests we have this year, especially from young girls, little girls, has been like vanities, like toy vanities. So these kids, these girls want these toy vanities. They want, makeup kits.
Yep.
We've had trains, of course, trains, and a lot of Pokemon.
Really?
A lot of Pokemon cards.
Some things never change.
No, and I tell them, I said, hey, you want Pokemon cards? Yeah, Santa can bring Pokemon cards. I said, but I always tell them, hey, you're here in Alton, there's a Pokemon shop, a card shop right down
Funky
here on 3rd
Cards and
Street.
Collectibles, they do a wonderful job
They
with
do.
the kids too. Really do some cool stuff.
Yeah, so I always try when
that's important.
Yeah, and when kids tell me what they want, of course we want to make sure that we try to
build it,
to build it and get it. But I also want to make sure that they know that there's spots available here in the Riverbend area that they can take their kids to and check it out and have that, not just go and buy it, but have an experience there.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool that you do that too, and because a lot of parents don't know.
Right.
So, do you have a moment to stick around? Let's take one break. Well, we're going to pay our last bill of Christmas, and we'll come back with good old Kris Kringle right after this on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Santa Claus is coming down the
Welcome back. Christmas Day continues right here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV. Santa Claus back in studio. So how much longer of a day do you have? Are you almost done?
You know what? I have a visit tonight. I'm going to Titletown over in East
cool.
Alton,
Yeah.
and spending an hour with some of the preschoolers over there. They're having a big Christmas dinner, for their families, and so they invited me to come and join them. So I'm going to head over there, and then tomorrow I have to head over to Ferguson, Missouri for something for Winter Wonderland, and then we'll be back in the Metro East over at the Bethalto Christmas Village on Saturday and Sunday from 5 to 8.
Now I got to ask you: have you gotten the technique pretty much all streamlined out at this point in time? Out of all the reps that you've had to do traversing across the world, do you think you got the routine pretty much down pat?
You know, we try. You know, and honestly, it depends on what reindeers actually come hang out with me.
That's
true. You know, because we all think, you know, it's the Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitz, and Rudolph. But, you know, we have many reindeer, you know, that are training. And sometimes, especially around this time before Christmas Eve, I take a couple different reindeers, you know, to hang out and to train them. And so when I take some new reindeer, it's, a little bumpy ride, but we get it.
Just like the Super Bowl, you got to have a reserve list, you know?
Exactly.
Well, you know, Santa, this has been fun. Really been really great for the community to stop by on Christmas. But what's your message to the little ones out there? You know, there might be opening presents right now. They might have already done it if they got up like everyone else does at 4:30 and wakes up mom and dad. But what really is the message today?
Honestly, the message today is enjoy. Take it in. Be thankful. Be grateful for who is around you, for what you have. Not just the material things that we get on today, but to enjoy time and to reflect and to love each other and to just take time to rest as well. Just rest.
Yeah.
Take it all in.
You heard it from the guy himself. You don't even need to hear it from me. With that being said, is there anything else, Santa?
Hey, well, I do have one question for you.
I got an answer.
All right. So, CJ, you know, I always ask people this question when I come and see them, okay? So I have to ask. Okay, first off, what would you like for Christmas?
Okay, I got two, but I'm going to ask for one. I would like a wraparound deck for Christmas.
A wraparound deck for Christmas.
That's what I'm looking for,
All
Santa.
right.
I know it's tough, but I think even if the material just happens to be there, I'll grab the team and we'll get it done.
All right, that sounds good. And then our second question I ask all the kids this, okay, is would you rather have a stocking filled with chicken nuggets or French fries?
Chicken nuggets with hot mustard dipping sauce any day of the week.
And where are we getting those chicken nuggets at?
McDonald's every day.
McDonald's. Very good. Very good. Thanks,
or
CJ.
Mrs. Claus's Kitchen. I would like those too because she's a good cook.
She is a good cook.
That's right. Hey, with that being said, thank you all, and I hope that all of you have a really great Christmas experience, a great day. Thank you all for all the fun that you've given us this year. We have more Daily Show coming up tomorrow, the day after Christmas, and we'll see you then. So on that note, have a great day. God bless you and yours. And on this Christmas morning, try your best to, as always, stay out of jail.